Good morning, or should I say good afternoon, everybody. How are you? It was lovely to have so many people join us on Wednesday to learn how to knit poppies. And I'm back now because I don't know how to knit and I love crochet. So it'd be great if a few of you introduce yourselves. I'm Gemma. I used to do lots of these and I haven't done any for a while. It's really good to be back. So I'll definitely come up with some new ideas and do some more. So I'll just quickly switch a few things around. But yeah, obviously Poppy Appeal is coming soon. Obviously, this is like a little additional thing where you could use these poppies to like yarn bomb your local area, maybe a little display. Hi, Irene. In your like home window, just something to pay tribute in a slightly different way than just wearing one on your chest. And obviously, if you do make one for yourself, then obviously if you could still make a donation to the Poppy Appeal, that would be great. And obviously the great thing with this as well is that you can use it year after year, and it's a great way of using any like yarn that you might have at home. Hi Kerry, how are you? I know Kerry well. She comes to lots of workshops here and has a lot of projects on the go, but is also going to add poppies to that list. So yeah, I love a picture pattern. Okay, so I do have for you, let me just put it in the text actually, because it might make a bit easier for you. Ooh, 2 seconds. Oh, a minute. Oh, I see, 2 seconds. It's slightly different to what I remember. I don't know how to add a comment actually. Oh, that's strange. I'll just quickly text it to Sufyan and see if he's able to post it. Let me just post him a message because I've got a written pattern. And then after the chat, I will, 2 seconds, I just sent that to him because I don't seem to be able to write a written comment. Is after the chat, I will, after the video, I'll share these picture patterns with you, which currently probably look like a nightmare to you, but I promise you they are life-changing. The day I learned to follow a picture pattern was the best day ever. I have adapted patterns that I found in this book here, that I found online, which the poppy that they had in their book was a one-piece one, so the black there is attached to the red. So I've kind of changed it because I wanted the black to be separate. So that's a separate little thing. And then the red's a separate little thing. And then also I've done leaves of different sizes. So yeah, should we get started? You're basically going to use all the stitches. Okay, so if you're new to crochet, then this will be a little introduction. I'm going to talk in UK stitches. And when I can remember, I'll mention the American names as well, because you may know that there is both. So we'll start, I won't start with the black dot actually, because that includes the magic circle. So we'll warm up to that. So we'll do the red, the outside petals here. Okay, so you're just going to start with a good old slip knot, like so, however you do yours. So just starting with a simple slip knot. For the purpose of the demonstration, I'm using some really thick 5mm rope to make this. But obviously, generally, you might want to make something with wool. So something like an Aran, oh, it's got all fluff on it. Something like an Aran there. So you could use a 5mm hook for that, a double knit. You could use 4mm crochet hook for that, a chunky. You could use 6, or whatever the packaging says. Just use the yarn that it suggests. Like I said, I'm using a big chunky hook and big chunky yarn, just so it's nice and easy for you to see. So let's show you this pattern. Let's see how you get on with it. All right. So it's telling you here that you start with a slip knot, and then it's telling you to do 4 chains and then to connect them with a slip knot there. So I'm going to try, because you don't need to see my face because I look a bit tired today. So I'm just going to put that picture, like I said, I will share it with you later. Oh, I had this all organised earlier. So look, I'm going to put that picture by there. So it might be useful for some of you who've used pictures before, but if not, if you're happy to wait till the end, I'll put the PDF up of what that actually is. The other thing I have done is created a left-hand version, and all I did to do that is I just put it on the photocopier and put a mirror version of it. So that's quite useful if you ever use pictures. So the little circle is showing you that it's a chain. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and 4 chains, like so. And I see that Sufyan's added the written pattern there. So we're starting at the top, round 1, chain 4, and then a slip stitch into the first chain. Okay, so I've got my 4 chains, I've got my knot, I'm going into my first chain, and then I'm connecting it just with a simple slip stitch. So a slip stitch is the one where you just pull it all the way through, like so. Let me just get my written pattern nearer as well. So, there we go. Nice. So that is a little circle there. So you have to sometimes go and find the circle. The center of your circle should be surrounded by a bunch of chains. Don't be tempted to use one of the chains. Make sure it kind of looks the same on all the surfaces on the outside. So round 2 is chain 2. So just yarn over and pull through twice, making a little chain. Find your center, and then I want you to put 10 double crochet into there. So a double crochet is when you just go, sorry, don't yarn over, I'm getting confused myself, into the center, through, yarn over, pull through 2. Do you know what, I've just realized my written pattern is slightly wrong. Whenever you do a double crochet, it should only be chain 1. Sorry, I'll change that before I share it. So it should just be chain 1. It wouldn't have made a massive amount of difference, but you know, for argument's sake. So then you do your 10 crochet. If you lost me there, sorry, I just took out one of my chains. Made a bit of a mistake with the written pattern. Do you know, I don't really like written patterns, but I did them for people who might like them, but it's not my forte. So now that's, so in the center of the circle, I'm going to try and weave in my end as I go. So I'm just doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's quite hard with this rope, it's quite thick. 9 and 10. So yours will be a tiny little circle now, whilst mine is a huge circle, like so. And if you haven't already, do check out the comments, by the way, whilst I remember. The Royal Voluntary Service, if you're happy to make a bunch of these, they have an address that you can post them to, because one of their, someone that is with them is doing a yarn bomb, so they would love to have as many poppies as possible. So there you go, you've got your 10 double crochets in your 4 chain, and then you're just going to slip stitch that to the first stitch. So you're looking for the first V at the top and pulling that all the way through. Now what I realise I haven't done, so let me just quickly jump back on a second, just because I've jumped into that picture and I've not explained that there's a key at the bottom here. So let me just run through that for those people who are new to pictures. So a slip stitch or a slip knot is a little dot. The chain is a circle, and a little cross is a double. So that's all we've done so far. The next things we're going to do is a half treble, all right, which is a little T shape, a treble, which has got a T with a little line through it, and then a double treble, which is another T, but with 2 lines through it. Like I said, they're all the UK terms. So I'll pop that back up there now, but I just realised I hadn't ever explained what this picture was happening. So currently we've done these slip knots, we've done this circle, and we've done these double knots. We're back round by here now, and we're about to do the petals. So as you can see, it's quite an easy pattern. Let's just have a look. Yeah, hi Ruth, good to see you. No worries, you can rewind and watch it again if you've missed anything, or you can join from now. There is the written pattern just above, so you hopefully will be able to catch up. Oh, where I put this now? Was it by there? Something like that? There you go. Cool. So we're on the 3rd round now, round 3 on the written pattern and on the picture pattern. So we're here, all right, and we're about to go round like that. So this time we're just chaining 2. Now, I think that's where I got confused with the other row, is that is unusual to only do 2 chains when you're doing such a big stitch. But that's because you kind of want it to create this kind of round shape here. So you don't want it to come out long and square. You want it to come round. So that kind of, first time I made it, I made them a little bit long and it looked a bit square. So that's on purpose, that bit. So just chaining of 2 here, and then 3 double treble crochet in the next 4 stitches. Okay, so we can do it in this very first stitch that we've just done the 2 chains in here. Now a double treble, for those who are quite new to crochet, feels a bit weird, but it's a brilliant tall stitch. So you want to yarn over twice, okay? Like that, yarn over once and then a second time. Then you're going underneath that V that you just came out of with the 2 chains. You're picking up the thread from behind so that you have 4 hoops on your hook. And then you do yarn over, you pull through just 2 of them and pause. You yarn over, you pull through 2 and pause, and then you yarn over and you pull through the last 2. All right, so I'll do it slowly a few times so you can get in the rhythm, but it's a handy big stitch used on lots of decorative things, so it's a good one to know. So we're going to do that 3 times in that stitch. So now we've done it once, we need to do it 2 more times. So yarn over twice, underneath the same V, the same stitch, picking up the thread, so you should have 4 on, yarn over, pull through 2, leaving you 3 on, yarn over, pull through 2, leaving 2 on, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, let's squeeze a third one in. It will be easier for you with wool, but hopefully this big chunky stuff is making it a bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. Then yarn over twice, under, out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over 2, yarn over 2. So what we've done there is that little bit by there. We're about to do that now. So 3 double trebles inside that double below. 3 in that one and 3 in that one. So I'll speed through that one. I'll also just see if there's any questions whilst I do that. Let's have a look. Someone say thank you, Maureen, no worries. Yeah, the picture pattern's on its way to you, Michelle. As soon as I finish, I will send it. It's just hard when I don't have access to the chat, but I've got it saved on my computer, ready to post, ready to send to you. No worries. Colleen says, apologies for not saying hello. Never need to apologise, but it is lovely to know people are there because it is very unusual making these sessions because I've done them before and no one's talked, and you feel a bit strange chatting to yourself. So it's always lovely to know that I'm not going mad. I did one once actually in lockdown, and I was on my personal Facebook rather than my work one, and I was really confused why lots of school friends and stuff were watching me. And then I realised I'd logged onto the wrong account. So good old technology, eh? So there you go. So that's my 3rd set of 3. And then finally, so I just do it slowly just to finish, just in case you missed it the first time. So I'm on my 4th double from the row below, and I'm about to put 3 double treble crochets. Pretty much the biggest stitch. There is I think one bigger one, but you rarely see that one. I think this is plenty big enough. 1, 2, and 3. Fab. So you should have now like a large half arc on the top there. And where we are here now is, can you see in the next double here, we're about to put 2 chains and then a slip knot. So that's going to kind of help make this kind of arc look the same. So I'm just about to do 2 chains, 1, this random thread that keeps sneaking in, 2 random chains just in the middle by themselves by here, just to make it look even, and then finding your next available stitch, and then you're just going into it with a slip stitch. Losing all my words today. And then can you see the next thing is also to do 2 chains out of there as well. So this stitch is just holding 4 chains in total, separated by a slip stitch. So now just 2 more chains, and that's that stitch work has been completed. I'm now going to do the lower half of the poppy, which has got slightly smaller stitches. So this time I'm doing 2 sets of trebles only. So I'll go through that now. But in those 4 doubles there. There's going to be 2 trebles in each. So if I count, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I've got 1 left, which is perfect. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 there. Okay, whatever, let's go. Right, so in here, so we're going to do a treble. Okay, so the difference with the treble, hopefully you've maybe done trebles before, they're more common. They're the ones you use for granny squares and things. So just do yarn over into the stitch and then pull through 2, pull through 2. That's one of them. I'm going to do it again. Yarn over, in, out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Next one, doing 2 in there, yarn over, under, out, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Second one, bum, bum, bum. Oh, do you know what I've done? I actually made a mistake at the beginning. Oh, man, live videos. Those stitches there should have been in the next one along. It totally doesn't matter. Don't stress out if you followed me. I will show you how to fix it. I'm just a little hot and bothered. I was just saying to Sufyan, who helps me with the technology of this, is that I was just having a coffee with a friend and we went about 10:30. So I thought I had ages. And then I asked her what time it was because I never wear a watch. And she said 12:05, and it's about a 10-minute walk away. So I rushed back. I don't know where the time went. We haven't chatted for a while, so I got a bit carried away. So yeah, I hope to practice one more time before we got started. 1, 2, but there we go. So 2 in there, 2 in there, 2 in there, 2 in there. All right. So like I said, I shouldn't have this extra stitch left because if you look at the picture actually shows you that the 2 that you did right at the beginning there, then you should have done the first 3 in the next one. But I went straight back into that one, which is a bit silly. So I've got an extra one here, but it's just a poppy and I'm going to cover it with a big black thing in a moment. So I'm just going to put my 2 chains. I'm just going to pop it in that last one. But normally there should already be those chains inside there if I had followed my own instructions. So chain 2 and then pop it inside. In your case, the first one, if you've done it correctly. There we go. You'd never know that I made a mistake. All right, so I can weave that in a second. Oh, I forgot to get some scissors actually, but I'll do that in a sec. Some scissors, and then you would be weaving that in. But also I'd keep a little end because that can help later when you attach it to a pin or you attach the head. All right, so we'll leave that one as it is for now. Let me know if you've got any questions. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, someone's asking me like they like my yarn. Yeah, so actually there's a few questions. So Jackie, yeah, no worries. You can watch it again anytime. The videos I made 5 years ago are still available. So just, I don't know if you have to wait to the end, but yeah, it's definitely available to watch over and over again. Kerry's laughing at me for making a mistake, of course, or probably for going for coffee and forget losing time. She knows me well. Josephine says hi, and then Michelle is saying that it's amazing yarn. Yeah, it's Bobini rope that I use for macrame normally, but I find it quite useful for doing demonstrations in crochet as well because it's so big and chunky, and it would be great for a yarn bonnet. So should we make the centre? No, I'll make the leaf actually. I'm going to cheat. Like I said, I'm warming up to the fun and games that is the magic circle. So the next up, we're going to make this leaf here. Let me just turn my little bit of paper here. So it might not be in the best perspective for you, but hopefully it helps a little bit. This is the starting point here. All right, so can you see? We're going to do 8 chains plus 2. So basically 10 chains in total, 8 plus the 2. And the pattern is right up at the beginning of the chat. Okay, so you're just going to do a slip knot. I've actually got this rope in 9mm as well, so almost double the thickness. That's amazing. And all sorts of nice things. So slip knot and 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the 8 are kind of the stalk, is it? The center of the leaf, and the top 2 are the turning ones. Okay, So that means we're going to obviously ignore those first two there. We're ignoring those. And in the third chain along, we're going to put a bunch of stitches. That helps shape the leaf and just makes it its widest point. So that's actually those double trebles again. And you're going to put 3 of them inside the third chain. So you're ignoring chain number 1, ignoring chain number 2, yarn overing twice, and then going into the third chain. And then, and yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, so a double treble in the third chain 3 times. So yarn over twice, back in the same chain. Oh, I hear there's lots of questions coming in. It's hard because I've got, I don't know if you can see you probably can't see that I'm like lowering my head because I can't actually see the questions because my screen is on the picture of the leaf. Yeah, Sophie says something about making loo bands. I don't know what they are. I'm intrigued. Send me a picture. Yeah, it looks like we're all up to date with the chat. I always check it later as well. So if I miss any, apologies, and I'll answer you later. So I've got my 3 double trebles inside my third chain from the end. And now, so I'm here, and I'm now going to go all the way down here, doing these stitches, slow, progressively getting smaller to the bottom there. So from now on, there's just 1 stitch, you'll be glad to know, in each one. Like I said, this just kind of helps shape it at the top. So I'm going to do 3 trebles and then 2 half trebles. I'll go through those slowly. So for those who are new, it might not be that easy just to flick from stitch to stitch. So treble is the one you use a lot with granny squares. So it's yarn over, in the next chain along, pick up the thread, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. All right, I'm doing that 3 times, but just 1 in each chain. So yarn over into the next chain, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. All right, then it's the half trebles, famously known in Cardiff as Gemma's favourite stitch. I always joke that when I learnt to crochet, that's what my friend Nat taught me to do. And I thought for about 2 years, it was the only stitch that existed. So my hand loves doing half trebles because I genuinely thought it was the only stitch. So yarn over, then you go under, pull through, and then you do yarn over and you pull through all 3 of them. Okay, that gets some getting used to, but a really good upgrade if you're a user of double crochet because it's much faster. Yarn over at the beginning, under the next chain, out, yarn over, pull through all 3. So you can see it's slowly reducing, it's making that tip of the petal. The next one is a double, so that's straight in, out, yarn over, and pull through 2, the smallest of the crochet stitches, but we've still got 1 chain and a slip knot left. That's because in the very tip, we're just going to put a slip stitch. So we're going to make it really trail off to nothing. So in, pick up, and straight out. Okay, making a nice half shape of a leaf. Now, we're going to do exactly the same in reverse, all the way down the back sides of the chains. So can you see your chains? They have this other part by here. We don't get to use those often, but we're going to use all those and we're going to do exactly the same in reverse. So if you can, I'd suggest weaving your ends in as you go as well. So just putting that at the height of your chains. So underneath, I won't do it now just because it's going to make it look a bit confusing. Yeah, no, I won't do it, but because you can weave it in otherwise. But I think on the screen it might look a bit strange. So at the back of your first chain, under, and do a slip knot. Next one is a double. Next 2 are half trebles. Oh, sorry, got yarn over. Next 3 are trebles. They're a bit harder to find. You might notice I'm like using my fingers to kind of find them. And then in the final hole, which is already pretty huge, I'm going to put 3 double trebles. Okay, and that's going to hopefully make a nice rounded top to my leaf. So yarn over twice, back in the first hole, back in the first chain hole, and then pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. 1, 2. All right, so I'm just going to do 3 of those. So we're now, picture-wise, we are, where are we? Up here. And you can see we're going to finish off with a slip knot. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. No questions, which is good. Hopefully it means you're all crocheting away, or hopefully you haven't all given up, because I made that, the first stitch I did was slightly wrong. And then I just slip stitch it. I find if I slip stitch it back in the hole, it goes a bit heart shaped. So I just kind of slip stitch it to one of these edge chains here, just so it's a little bit rounded. It doesn't really matter in this project, of course, because it's going to be covered anyway. So I just slip stitch it to something, get it done. There we go. So that's my leaf made. All right, so a really handy little leaf. You might find some other uses for that. So I'll put these, I'll move this out of the way actually. We're building our poppy bit by bit. And then finally, we're going to do the centre. Now, I notoriously find, obviously, that working with black thread is the hardest colour to work with. So I'm going to randomly make a grey one for the video, which is a bit strange, but I think it'll be much, you'll thank me because it'll be much easier to see. So this is a bit smaller, this one, but hopefully you can just about see. We'll hit this little spiral is a magic circle. And then we're going to be putting, let me remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets in it, just making a little button of crochet. And that I did make some. I don't seem to have it here. I think I actually put it on a dress that I wore the other day, and I haven't remembered to take it off the dress. But I did use a nice big black button for one of them, which was a nice, easy way to finish, especially if you find this hard. Can the diagrams go into the comments? Yeah, they're coming soon. All right, Ruth. They're just as soon as it ends, I'll post those for you. All right. So, if you haven't done a magic circle before, I'll also post my friend's video. Sarah, it's the video that I always go to if I haven't done one for a while. I find it just really easy to watch her video. So some people do it different amounts of fingers. If you know how to do one, go ahead and do one. By the way, the reason we're doing a magic circle is, can you see, when we've done the chain method, you do end up with quite a big hole in the center. It doesn't matter for the petals because obviously we're going to cover it, but you wouldn't obviously want a hole in the center of your black center. It needs to be nice and tight. So a magic circle can be tightened. So all I'm doing, I've got my palm facing up, and then I'm grabbing the end on my third finger there. Okay, this is the way I do it. Like I said, there is other ways. I'm then making the shape of an X over. So I've wrapped it round the back of my hand. So I've gone over, across, slightly over to the right here, taken it down, and then gone back over. All right, so that feels very weird. But again, once you've done it a few times, it does get a bit easier. So over, like that. Then flip your hand over so that you're facing your knuckles here, and then slide your crochet hook underneath the first of the strings, and then grab the second one with your crochet hook. Ta-da! That is magic ring. All right. So what happens is basically later on, when you've added a few stitches to it, you'll be able to close it up. It slides. So what we're going to be doing on this, let me just check the instructions, is chaining one, like so, and then you're going to be putting all your stitches inside the center of the circle. Nice, we've got some West Walian here. Zan, hi, nice to meet you. So a double crochet is the smallest of the stitches. So you're just going so you're just going into the center of your magic circle. You're picking up your yarn from behind, and then you're doing a yarn over and you pull through 2. All right, slide it up so it's nice and close to the last one. So after this stitch, you can relax a little bit, but I do feel, I always get a bit nervous until that stage because it feels a little bit fragile, but now it feels a little bit more, I'm a little bit more comfortable with it now. So I'm going underneath my circle, picking up my thread, yarn over, pull through 2. You can keep it nice and big, the circle, and then you just have the enjoyment at the end of making it small. So this is number 4. I need to fit 8 in there in total. I'm just making sure that it stays straight. Ooh, just put the ball over here. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. The thread's gone in a funny direction, but I think it'll be okay. Then you pull the short end to tail really tight, and it should close around your stitches like so. You can then find your first stitch and you can slip stitch them together. So just go underneath the V of your first stitch, pick up the thread from behind and pull it all the way through. I'm just going to go and quickly get a pair of scissors because I forgot to bring some over, and then we'll assemble it then. All right, I'm back. All right, you all still there? Oh, thanks. Jackie loves the pictures. I love converting people. I've got an amazing Granny Square book that converted me. I went away for a weekend and took it with me, and I pretty much didn't read. I haven't read a written instruction since. I think it makes life so much easier. So I now draw them myself, and it doesn't take long. It makes life so much easier. I think it's really good for different learning styles to have the different types. So there we go. So I've got my little tight circle. So obviously normally I would do that in a black colour, but I think hopefully it was a little bit easier for you to see in the grey. So all I would do then, I've got 2 ends on there, maybe slide them in. There isn't any rules really to how you put it together. Obviously I'm going to struggle because they're so big. So I'm just going to place that on top of there. And then I would use, because I've done so thick, I can't put them on a needle, which is the only pain. So I'll probably have to just crochet hook them together like so. I'm just going to attach them. You can just use you'll be able to use a darning needle, find a way of attaching them. I'm just going to do it quickly because I'm pretty sure if you can crochet, you'll be able to attach these together. But I'd like to show you something. I'll cut these off now. And again, the back doesn't really matter, does it? So I'm just gonna knot them together. There we go. Let's cheat a bit. There you go. Oh, Bella says my crochet hook looks quite small. I think maybe it's just the scale. I guess it isn't any shorter than a normal one. I can't remember what the company is. It's a very common one. It's they sell them everywhere. And I think maybe because it's wider, it looks out of proportion. But yeah, I can't remember what the company is because even the super big one is the same length. But yeah, I've never used it. I try the fancy ones, but I seem to just get on better with the cheap ones, which is handy. Keeps. We'll just weave that in. Like I said, I would definitely do this a little bit slower if I was doing it properly. But I'm keen for you to carry on with your day and get crafting. So we'll hide all that. I'll sort that out in a minute. And there we go. Oh no! 2 seconds. I didn't finish that. Let's quickly save that. So you see what happened there? I accidentally, when I was undoing it, and did that evil stitch that I did wrong in the first place. So I just need to do that slip stitch again. I'll pull it all the way through. There we go. There we go. Again, a little bit of sorting out. I'd probably even maybe, because with the thick thread, is actually just use a little bit of cotton and needle and threads. That seems to not want to sit properly. So I'd probably sort that out, or even with a bit of glue, especially if it was for a yarn bomb. There we go. So not perfect, but not bad. And then, yeah, give me 2 minutes and I will add the pictures. And like I said, I've done a right-handed version. So you'll just be following the arrows this way. That'll be how you see it. But it's a top tip for anyone who uses pictures, is I just put them on the photocopier and then I mirror them. So this is the way a left-handed person would be looking at these pictures. So I'll put both available to you. And it'd be great to see your makes. Have fun making them. And yeah, thanks for joining me today. And let me know if you'd like me to do any other videos. I'm always happy to do them. And I think I've answered all the questions, but I'll have a little check now. And I hope to see you again soon. I hope you all have a good weekend. And thanks for joining. Bye.